Howdy folks, it's your friend Fishing with Dom. I've got a special video today. I'm not going to share with you a fishing topic or tip on how to catch more fish, but more or less a cool show-off video. Right in front of me, I have an envelope that I got from Walgreens probably 3 years ago. And you're probably thinking, you know, what the heck is so special about an envelope? But inside this envelope, I have oodles of Bassmaster Elite Series autographs. And I'm going to go through them one by one and talk about them a little bit. Maybe tell you a little bit about the anglers and my experience with them. So, pull these out. Put them right there. Okay. Got a pile right here. Got a stack. And I've got all of them right here. I'm going to see who is going to get picked first. The man who almost, arguably, won the 2013 Bassmaster Classic. He lost a donkey at the side of the boat. Hank Cherry. I got this picture taken. I didn't take this picture. I mean, I got this autograph in 2015 at the Bassmaster Elite Series event on Lake St Clair. All of these autographs are from 2015, but I personally have been going to the Elite Series event on Lake St Clair for the past 5 years. Whenever they have it, I'm always out there. Hank Cherry, lovely guy. Not much to say about Hank. I only met him 2 or 3 times. He's one of the guys on the Elite Series that will talk to anybody. If you have a question for Hank Cherry, he's always there. He's always down for autographs. He's always in a good mood. Now, I wish I got a better picture for this next one. I don't think this is necessarily my fault. This might be the fault of the printer. This is Fletch Shryock. And as you can see, the top of his head is cut off. And when I saw that Walgreens printed it off like this, I'm like, oh man, it's late. I can't go back and get a new one. Oh, whatever. I'll just have him sign it either way. And then I apologized to him. And he thought it was, he got a kick out of it. But autograph of Fletch nonetheless. Good guy. Real good guy. Him and his brother. Fantastic dudes. Now, this is one of my favorite pictures I've ever seen of this collection. I just think it's a good photo. Fellow Abu Garcia homeboy, Justin Lucas. Big guy on Instagram, Facebook, and other social media handles. Justin's always a nice guy, and he's a competitor. He's fierce. He's a lot of these guys out here, they fish. They really fish. You know, that's an understatement. But Justin, he is my vote, personally, to being one of the next big names in professional bass fishing. I can't say enough good things about him. I really like Justin. Whenever I run into him, he always sits down, he talks to me for a little bit. I have a podcast interview with him. If you go deep into my video feed over the past year, I got him on there for a quick minute or so. He's always down for whatever. Big Abu Garcia guy, works with Berkeley. I fish a lot of the same baits he fishes with. Just a cool guy. Now here's a cool one. This was from the 2015. When I'm trying to remember if Edwin Evers won the Classic in 2015 or 2016. Either way, I got Edwin Evers on here, and he even wrote a personal note on here. Dominic, catch the big ones. Edwin Evers. Now that's pretty cool. That's really cool. Double E, he's a very nice guy. He's very good at drop shotting. We talked a lot about drop shotting when I met him. Now Terry Scroggins. This is a cool photo. Terry's a nice guy. I got to talk to Terry for a little bit several years ago on the knot he uses when he's connecting braid to fluorocarbon. It's called the Scroggins knot. And I learned it very well, very fast. Works for me. You don't hear much about him anymore, but I'm sure he's doing his thing. Terry's a Terry's a wholesome guy. He's a good old-fashioned dude. Now, the next guy I'm going to talk about, Tim Horton. Fantastic gentleman. He's always got a smile on his face, I swear. He's never had a bad day on Earth. Like, obviously he has. But if it's a crappy picture, I should have brought my silver marker. In the light, you can see the reflection of his autograph. Tim's a very, very genuine guy. I like him a lot. Outside of fishing, he's a good human being. I've talked to him many, many times on social media. He's always down to help people catch more fish. And if you're at an event or if you're at a store and you see any of these professionals doing their promo stuff outside of the season, Tim Horton, awesome guy. A lot of these guys, they're just great, great people. Another great person. Oh my goodness. Brandon Palaniuk. This is a cool picture, cool autograph. He is a fishing machine. Young guy, hot shot. He's going to be a big name in the Bassmaster Elite Series for a long time to come. What I like about Brandon, he knows his stuff and he gets straight to the point. You'll be talking to him. He doesn't have a whole lot to say outside of fishing. Maybe it's because he's still so young, but I got this picture autographed in 2015. In 2017, last time we had the event on Lake St Clair, he was leading in Angler of the Year points, I believe, and nobody was sure how the last event was going to play off for Angler of the Year. But I told him as he was walking away, yo, BP, you're going to win Angler of the Year. I absolutely know it. And he looks back at me, he smiles, he says, hey, thanks, man. I appreciate the support. And, you know, we went our separate ways, and he ended up winning Angler of the Year. It was unbelievable. It's unbelievable. That's Brandon Palaniuk. He's a big-time fisherman. I've got a lot of baits he's designed. This guy's definitely in my top 5 favorite bass anglers and people in general outside of fishing. Ott Defoe. Ott is a wholesome guy. Always polite. He's always sincere. If you talk to him, he listens and he comprehends it very, very well. You know, Ott and I, we both love Rapala crankbaits, and we've talked about that a bit. He's with Abu Garcia, so, you know, I think it's cool. The rods that I like to fish with, you know, these guys are fishing with also. It only helps if they're some of my favorite anglers. Ott, fantastic guy. Got this good photo of him. Got his autograph right there. Oh, very, very strong-willed, intelligent Christian man. I appreciate Ott Defoe. I wouldn't mind fishing with him sooner or later. Ott, if you're watching this video, meet me in Michigan. Let's go fishing. Now this guy right here, one of the pioneers to the Alabama rig, Paul Elias. Now Paul's old school, man. He's been fishing professionally his entire life. Paul's a good man. Paul's a good man. He'll take a photo with everybody. He'll smile. He'll chop it up. Good guy. Good guy. Here's one. Takahiro Omori, one of the Bassmaster Elite Series anglers from Japan. Tak is an awesome guy, from what I can tell. He doesn't speak English that well, or at least when I met him. I like Tak. Tak's a real good guy. He's a fantastic gentleman. He can catch fish, that's for sure. Ooh, the man himself. I got a few good pictures of him last year. Skeet Reese. One of the best to ever do it, baby. And I've got his autograph right here. Oh, man. I've got a lot of the baits Skeet's designed over the years. He's a grade A fella. He wears a lot of yellow. A lot of yellow. Got a big old Ford F650 truck. Skeet's a real good guy. I appreciate him. Who's next? Hey, Greg Hackney. I like Greg Hackney. Greg's a nice guy. I got Greg right here. Bass Mafia, Phoenix boat guy. I'm trying to remember much about Greg Hackney. It might have been him in 2013 when we were at Lake St. Clair, at the Lake St. Clair Metro Park for weigh-in. He was about to leave, and I saw him throw in a pinch of chewing tobacco, and I ended up bumming one off of him. And he was totally cool about it. We were talking about it. I'm like, oh, hey, man, can I get a little pinch off you? And he was down for it. A lot of people wouldn't be. I don't know why I asked. I'm like, oh, hey, that sounds kind of good right now. And he did. And I got super sick on the car ride home. That's a story, a lot of people will never hear. But yeah, I got chewing tobacco. I believe I'm 90% sure it was Greg Hackney, and I threw it in my mouth, and like 45 minutes later, I was sick to my stomach. Okay, another solid guy I respect very, very much, Ish Monroe. Now the cool thing about Ish is I fish a lot of different ways, but Ish fishes flawlessly in ways that I can't even compete with. He's really good at spinnerbait fishing, and he's really good at frog fishing. I can't do either of those to save my life. And in 2013, when I first met Ish, and I got the first autograph from him, this is the second one I have from him. He was driving away, and I ended up waving him down, and he came back to the dock for an interview. That means a lot to me. Ish Monroe, if you're watching this, thanks, brother. I appreciate you and your kindness. Let's go fishing someday. The whole reason I'm making this video is to get pros' attention. Take me fishing! Take me fishing! Up next, James Niggemeyer. James is a nice guy. James is a nice guy. I've only met him a handful of times. I'm trying to think about what we've talked about before. I'm sure we've talked about swim baits. I know he's a big swim bait guy. Good dude. Up next, who is here? Dean the Machine Rojas. Rojas? Rojas. R-O-J-A-S. Rojas. Dean Rojas. Why do I keep saying the name? That's just weird. That's just weird. Dean's always been... Never had a problem with Dean. Dean's a cool guy. He'll talk to you for a bit. Now, this next photo... one of my favorite, most inspirational photos, and the autograph's a little smeared, and I'm kind of bummed out about that, but it happens. It reads, to Dominic, God bless you. Randy Howell. Bassmaster Elite Series Classic Champion from... Oh, what year was that from? I believe he was 16. Yeah, I believe he was 2016. Fantastic guy. Last year when they were on Lake St. Clair, and he came... That was 2015, Randy Howell, because I got these autographs in 15, and then 17 they came back to Lake St. Clair. Okay, yeah, so I believe he was the 2015 Classic Champion. But Randy Howell comes up to the tanks at weigh-in, keeping the fish alive, and he puts his two hands on the front of a tank and does this insanely deep, front back flex. Like, he just put his hands on the tank and leaned forward just to crack his back a little bit. And I'm like, oh, hey, man, you doing okay? He said, yeah, can you do me a favor? Take my keys, run on my truck. There's some Aleve in there. And I was about to do it, but his wife was around, and she ended up having an Aleve with her. And I'm like, oh, dude, Randy Howell almost had me go to his truck for him. That was pretty cool. We talked for a bit. Randy's always a nice guy. He's a pleasure to talk to, him and his wife. Next up, one of the guys who's been doing it the longest, Zell Rowland. I don't know how Zell does it, but I can't fish poppers. This man is a popper fanatic. He does it. Zell's always a nice guy. I believe he fishes the FLW now. He's getting up there, but he was always nice. He was quiet, but he was always a good guy. The man, John Cruz. John Cruz is a nice guy. I got John Cruz right here. I believe we talked about wacky rigging for 10 or 15 minutes last year. It was pretty darn cool. I I go to all the Bassmaster Elite Series events that happen in Michigan, and last year I got a media pass to go down there and interview the guys, get pictures, all that fun stuff. And yeah, I ended up talking to all these people. I ended up, seeing a few of them, and a lot of them actually remembered me. So I thought that was very, very, very cool. The thing is, when you meet a lot of these Bassmaster Elite Series anglers, there's a pool of over 100 competing anglers. It's a very large field for every event or so. But you get the top tier elites, the Mike Iaconellis, the David Mercers, Kevin Van Dam. All these guys are some of the biggest names and faces in bass fishing. And it seems like whenever they're out and about and they're fishing these events and they're around fans, totally different game face on. They're just talking to people, they're taking pictures, they're just being crowd pleasers. And I think it's similar to the Michael Jordan effect. You can't get personal with some of the larger Bassmaster Elite Series anglers just because they deal with it on a day-to-day basis. Now, Kevin Van Dam, got him right here. He's one of them. I met Kev more than I can count. I'm going to try to fish with him someday. He's from Michigan. I'm from Michigan, Maybe I'll just follow him to the boat ramp one day. Kev's a great guy. He'll always talk to you about stuff. His kids are awesome, too. His wife, she's a great lady also. I enjoy Kevin. Kevin is the Michael Jordan of bass fishing. But you just talk to him. I didn't personally connect with Kevin all that much, just because he's got the crowd of people coming with him. When he's walking, you thought Moses parted the Red Sea because Kevin Van Dam is coming through. Kevin, love you. Let's go fishing, brother. Now, 5 years ago yesterday, Randall Tharp won the Forest Wood Cup on the FLW circuit. Now he's fishing the Bassmaster Elite circuit. Randall Tharp was always really, really nice. He was happy to take a picture with me. He was happy to talk to me. Put his arm around me and gave me a real good handshake. He said a few words of encouragement for me in my career in fishing, and he's a wholesome guy. I really, really like him. Randall catches big fish in southern Florida. He's one of the finest on Lake Okeechobee because he catches fish. That guy is just a fishing machine. It's unbelievable. Next up, Boyd Duckett. I've got a funny story about Boyd Duckett. I was interviewing Skylar Hamilton last year at the event. And I've got the microphone up to Skylar, and he's talking about how he was frog fishing the north end of the lake. And I was really, really interested because a lot of anglers weren't doing that day. And he ended up, I think, holding first place after day one. And out of nowhere, Boyd Duckett just comes up and starts talking into the interview. We're just passing it around, answering questions, just talking, being silly. I got to see if I can find that. I'm not sure if I ended up uploading that or not, but I thought that was pretty cool. Skylar Hamilton and I were talking afterwards, and I was just like, wow, that's crazy. Boyd Duckett just crashed my podcast. Like, how the heck does that happen? That's pretty cool. The next man up, I'm trying to think. Alton Jones. Alton's a good guy. His son's a real good fisherman. Alton catches fish. Alton's a great guy. I like Alton. Who do we have here? Casey Ashley. I like Casey Ashley. He won the 2016 Bassmaster Classic. I like Casey a lot. He's a fantastic gentleman. He's just a good guy. He'll talk to everybody. He's a nice guy, even if he's had a bad day fishing. Casey Ashley. Good man, good man. Just like these remaining two small pictures, when I met Cliff Pace the first time, it was months after he won the Bassmaster Classic in 2013. And I said, Cliff, well, congratulations. I know you won it 5 months ago, but what's it feel like? He's like, man, every day you feel it all over again. One of the best bass fishermen in the world, Cliff Pace, won the Classic. He's always been a nice guy. He had a hunting accident in 2015, so I wasn't able to see him then, but I saw him last year in 2017 where I could sign it. Or maybe I got that backwards. Maybe I saw him in 15 and he had the accident in 17. That might be it. I'm getting old. My memory's a little fuzzy. Now, this next angler shaped how I Carolina rig big time. If it wasn't for this man, I wouldn't Carolina rig today. Chris Lane, if you're watching this, thank you. And congratulations for winning the 2013 event. I knew you were going to do it. I told him in 2013 when he said that he was fishing the north end of Lake St Clair. I said, there's some big fish out there, man. If you're fishing the North Channel towards Algonac, there's some big fish in the northern end of Lake St Clair. You don't need to run to Lake Erie to win this event a lot of the times. Chris Lane, great guy. His brother Bobby, awesome dude too. I thought I had his autograph, but I've got pictures of me and Bobby all over the place. He's a good guy. Now I've got the last two, and these are big ones. The MC himself, David Mercer. The cool thing about David Mercer, he's always joking. He's always loud. He's always giggling about something. Dave's just positive energy to be around. He was coming out of the bathroom as I was going in, and he looked at me. He's like, hey, how's it going, dude? And I'm like, hey, what's up? He's like, you're the writer. You gave me a copy of that magazine 2 years ago. And I'm like, yeah, that's me. You remember? He's like, hey, absolutely. Dude, that's awesome. And I had another copy for him, and he was digging it. He was absolutely loving it. I was smiling from ear to ear that Dave Mercer remembered me. Dave's a great guy. I hope he gets to MC me someday. Because I'd love to fish the Elite Series someday, but you know, it's a grind. It's a grind. Up next, my last autograph, probably one of my favorites. A man who I owe most of my bass fishing credit to. New Jersey's finest, Mike Iaconelli. Ike's a great guy. He always stops and takes pictures with people. He's one of the biggest names in bass fishing out there. All these guys are very, very big. But Ike is a marketing genius. He thinks a lot differently than other people when it comes to fishing and promoting himself and film and the Ike Live show, all that fun stuff he does. Ike's on a different level, and he's forever going to be known as one of the greatest bass fishermen, let alone fishermen, of all time. Oh, I really, really dig Ike. Ike remembered me, actually, at last year's event in 2017. He did the same thing Dave Mercer did. Yeah, you're the writer. You gave me the magazine. I'm like, yeah, that's me. And I gave him a magazine I wrote, and he's always happy to read it. And I thought that was so cool. Not only have I had the chance to meet all of these fantastic guys, and I'm just thinking right now, man, I don't have this person's autograph. I don't have this person's autograph. They'll come someday, but I'm going to get a big frame, and I'm going to put these all in a giant frame. They're going to be a part of the studio I got going on back here. But, man, oh man, out of all of these pictures, I just got to say, I am so blessed and unbelievably fortunate to do what I do. Yeah, I make fishing videos. I write fishing articles for magazines. I'm working on a book. I'm very active on social media. I try to talk to all these guys on social media as much as I can. It's an absolute riot. It's a crazy life I live, but I'm glad I live it. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. I think I have what it takes to fish with some of these guys competitively. I might be a little big in the britches to say that, but I think I'm a pretty good fisherman. I think I could compete on some bodies of water against some of these guys. But that just might be me talking there. Maybe I'm not a good fisherman after all. Now, man, oh man, I've got stories about so many other Bassmaster elite anglers. I've got stories about a lot of them that I don't have autographs from. So I'm going to go through and see whose autograph I need. Next time I get the chance, I'll for sure get their autographs and do a video afterwards. But I got to say something. As always, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, comments, or stories about any of these anglers, let me know in the comment section below. I would really, really appreciate it. I hope you have a great day. I hope you catch some fish. And I hope you live the best life possible. I'm Fishing with Dom. Thanks for watching. Take care.